Okay, this is part 2B where we were looking at the countries that Donald Trump seems unusually obsessed with this time around: Canada, Greenland, and Panama. We were at the point where I was asking, what can we do here in the United States? Who would need to be removed from office if indeed they were found to be committing treason, the only crime defined by the U.S. Constitution? Okay, so we got to the executive, the legislative, and the judicial. And I was talking about Supreme Court justices. While removal is rare and challenging, justices who are perceived as heavily aligned with these agendas could be scrutinized for potential conflicts of interest or ethical violations. Justices Alito and Thomas come to mind. Federal judges, appointees in lower courts who may be advancing rulings that align with these policies. Thankfully, President Biden, on his way out, appointed a large number of federal judges, which, according to the lawyer types on here, are lifetime appointments. So, hopefully there aren't many in the judicial system at the federal judge level that we have to be concerned about. So the next one is private sector influences, and I think you know exactly who I'm going to be talking about here. That's right, Elon skipping like a dipshit Musk. As a private sector figure with significant influence over technology, communication platforms, and public opinion, his role in shaping narratives and policies could be critical. Donald Trump just said on television Tuesday night that Elon Musk is the head of Doge. Under private sector influencers, we also have corporate leaders, CEOs, or executives of companies that are financially or ideologically aligned with these agendas. There are a lot of amazing content creators on here who are keeping track of all that. So the don't shop at Walmart, don't shop at Target, with whether they are large contributors to Trump's campaign or they're rolling back DEI initiatives. That's where we need to go, but it didn't get ChatGPT didn't get specific on that. So look for those out there. I'm not going to go into all of that. State level officials, governors and attorneys general, state leaders who are implementing or supporting federal policies that contribute to the weakening of institutions. Looking at you, red states. Election officials, individuals overseeing election processes who may be complicit in undermining democratic norms. Sounds viable to me. And then, of course, and this is my favorite one, media and propaganda figures, media executives and hosts, individuals in influential media positions who are spreading disinformation or propaganda that supports these agendas. Yeah, I think we all remember the story from just a couple months ago where all of these fuckboy news people were being paid by Russia to spread Russian propaganda. I would like to add Joe Rogan to the list on that one as well. Oh, God. Okay. I then asked, with everything I've given ChatGPT, if we cannot remove Trump, Vance, Musk, et al. From power legally for treason, how long before we reach the point of no return? Meaning it will not matter if we can restructure and get a Kamala Harris, Tim Walz administration, we get Pete Buttigieg, etc. It will not matter. ChatGPT estimates 2 to 4 years. So before the end of this term, we are completely fucked if things keep going the way they're going with everything that has been going on. Everything that Trump is doing, everything that he is allowing Elon skipping like a dipshit Musk and his douche department, and all of the MAGA types you know, the Mike Johnsons, the Marjorie Taylor Greens, the Justices Alito and Thomas, etc. There will be a point of no return. Well, it will not matter, and things will be destabilized enough that Russia could potentially attack, if not invade this country, 2 to 4 years before the end of this Trump administration. Now you know why my brain went down these paths and started looking at things the way that I have been looking at them. Okay? As someone who's autistic, pattern recognition, this is what has been on my mind for the last week or so, ever since I watched that debacle of an attack on President Zelensky at the White House last week. Yeah. But I also asked one more question. However, if we remove anyone aligning with Trump in the key departments I just listed, we dramatically increase our breathing room from 2 to 4 years to 6 to 8 years. But this does take into account that other than that list, you know, that I just read, you know, getting rid of Trump, getting rid of Vance, getting rid of, you know, the heads of those key departments in his cabinet, etc. That list I just read, it takes into account that the remaining Trump humpers remaining in those departments. So we still have, unfortunately, Marjorie Taylor Greene and Lauren Boebert et al. If we just stick to the list, we are increasing our odds of we're backing away from the precipice. There's a way to say it. From 2 to 4 years to 6 to 8 years. So we don't need to worry about the Marjorie Taylor Greenes and the Lauren Boeberts and the Mike Johnson. Well, Mike Johnson's on the chopping block, actually, according to this, because he is the Speaker of the House. But anybody else not listed and not immediately coming to mind when looking through all of these people that need to be removed, we save ourselves 6 to 8 years. We know where we need to start. And let me reiterate this. And again, I want to address that I am speaking of a fair and just trial. I am speaking of all of these people being indicted and convicted for treason and just treason. Okay? The president, the vice president, cabinet members, specifically the secretaries of defense, education, and health and human services. We all know who the head of the health and human services is. He's got a dead brain in it, or dead. He's got a dead brain. He's got a dead worm in his brain. Current, because I can never remember, because this is just a shit show. Current Secretary of Defense. Oh, that fucking Pete Hegseth. Yeah, Pete Hegseth has got to go. And I should have remembered that one. And then Linda McMahon, oh, the WWE ex-wife. Yeah, those are the people. Just them. Congressional leaders, particularly Speaker of the House, Senate Majority Leader, committee chairs, specifically under the Department of Defense, Department of Education, and Health and Human Services. The judicial branch, the Supreme Court justices, specifically Alito and Thomas at this point. Very few people we would have to try and convict for treason and get them out of their position. We improve our odds dramatically from 2 to 4 years to 6 to 8 years. And then we can worry about the rest of them. So part 3, we are going to break things down under the DSM definition, which is the American Psychiatric Association Manual for Mental Health Providers, diagnosis criteria for mental health conditions. Narcissism. We're going to break it down even further. Part 3.